Okay, so we did an AI that would generate fan fiction. We named it Prometheus. So our slogan is responses so good that they were handcrafted by the gods. Funny little backstory on that, actually. We were going to do a Percy Jackson model, so we based everything off of Percy Jackson, and then the model ended up not working. So that's where all the god stuff comes in. Yeah.
We gathered our data from websites like Kaggle, and sometimes we had to web scrape data with Beautiful Soup and web scraping. After cleaning the data, the Python library AI TextGen was used to train the GPT-2 model. It was trained with backpropagation. It backpropagates to tell itself the parameters to change. Even after training models for 100,000 steps, sometimes it would not meet our standards. So we had to clean the data better and retrain to help with accuracy. To save the parameters set for training the model, files like pytorch.bin, config.json, and tokenizer.aitextgen.json were saved. When a user clicks on the generate button on this page, Prometheus uses the saved models to finish your prompt and send it back with a post request.
Prometheus features. We have 4 models for Prometheus: Harry Potter, Phineas and Ferb, SpongeBob, and a series of unfortunate events. And we were originally supposed to have a 5th one, but as Jace said, Percy Jackson was not working because it contained some Greek letters that would confuse the data. We have a sleek UI for the website. As you can see, our user interface is actually very nice and sleek. The nav button, everything works very nice. We have highly trained models. Each model took around 2 hours or more to train. So if you enter in a prompt, the answer should be very understandable.
So the libraries we used in Prometheus are AI TextGen, Beautiful Soup, and Flask. So these are the packages that we use that are native to Python. So AI TextGen is the model that we use to AI TextGen is a library that we use to train all our models. So AI TextGen leverages PyTorch, and it also leverages GPT-2. Using GPT-2, we were able to use this transformer feature, which is better than your average recurrent neural network since it has a higher attention span. And in GPT-2, there's the regular GPT-2 and there's distilled GPT-2. Based on the results we were given based on the results each model gave, we decided to choose the one that had better results. So in some cases, regular GPT-2 was better, and others, distilled GPT-2 was better. And then we use Beautiful Soup for web scraping. Beautiful Soup, if you don't know, it's a Python library and it's an HTML parser that we can use to extract HTML elements and get the text out of it. So some cases where there wasn't any Kaggle datasets or any viable places to get data from, we had to use Beautiful Soup. And we used it for the Phineas and Ferb model and the series of unfortunate events model. Finally, we used Flask for our backend. So what Flask is, it's a Python micro web framework, if anyone doesn't know. And Flask is required to render all the HTML templates and make everything a responsive experience. So in Flask, we used it to save some variables, and we created a class in Flask that has the model, that has all 4 models inside of it. And based on the prompt the user generates, we use a post request to send that data to our backend and then return a response from our front end. And if you actually click on these images, it takes you to the documentation for the libraries.
So about the team, so first up we have Raj, who is our fearless leader. He's a master in data science and goes to Northeastern University in Boston. He's deeply fascinated by the world of AI and is enjoying teaching the students. He abandoned us for a doctor's appointment today.
I'm here, guys. I'm here. I cannot abandon you.
You left us. You left us, Raj.
I'm Andrew. I'm 16 years old, a rising junior. I like cross country and track, along with programming. I like making the front end of the website and training each of the models.
Hi, I'm Kyoko. I'm 16 years old as well. I'm also a rising junior. I love learning new programming languages as well as regular languages. I love playing video games, long walks on the beach, but I don't like sand. And I enjoyed working with an awesome team because coming into it, I wasn't sure how the team would work together, but we worked really well together and I'll definitely miss them.
My name is Jace, or Jay, because Jay stole my name. I'm 16 and a rising junior. I like to read, draw, and write. And my favorite part of this process was hand drawing the logo and helping with the front end of the website.
Hi, my name is Saket. I'm a 16-year-old rising junior. I really enjoyed working with the HTML, CSS components and everything that was required to build the website, making it look nice. And I liked learning Flask, which was a new for me, and coding the back end of the website.
Hi, I'm Jace. I'm a 16-year-old rising junior, and I loved program in Luau, run cross country, and play in the marching band. My favorite part of AI Camp was programming the back end of the website and also using Flask and implementing the GIFs in the front end.
Hello, my name is Shuaib. I'm a 16-year-old rising senior that likes to play basketball and soccer sometimes. My favorite part of AI Camp was actually programming the front end and building such training and learning about the actual AI.
Okay, so welcome to the project demo page. So this is where we'll be actually trying out our models. So I think, do you guys want to try out one or two models? Two. Okay.
Harry Potter and Phineas and Ferb.
Okay, so let's start with the Phineas and Ferb. Jace, enter the prompt, please. So it is going to take a second, but patience is key, so it will pay off. As you can see, we have a wonderful, cute little animation that Jace chose. Yeah. While it's loading, I can talk a bit about the background. So as you can see, the background, it's Phineas and Ferb themed, but, oh, okay. I'll continue after, but I'll read it. So Perry says, grr, Doofenshmirtz, his nose takes a hole in his balloon. Cut to farmer and farmer looking at the world she advanced, and Reporite, a maid down by the booze. Yeah. So that is just one of our amazing generated little story prompts.
Yep, so you may notice that it starts making up some words by the end of the response, but that's just with the amount of data that we had, it wasn't enough for each of the models, even GPT-2. So for example, training the entirety of GPT-2 took about almost like a terabyte of data, but with the data that we had for Phineas and Ferb, it was actually only for all of the episodes and even the movies, it was only about 5 megabytes of script. So we would need a lot more data in order to get something a lot better for the responses. And this is because those transformer nodes, they don't have enough training data to understand what parts of the sentence to take attention to. So you're able to choose different books like SpongeBob, and it will change the background and it will change what our corpus was for each of the data. And so I'm going to do a Harry Potter prompt, and I'll write, "I'm sorry," said Harry. So once we generate this, so as it starts to generate, whenever you press the generate button, it sends out a post request to the Flask server that's running on my local machine right now. And so once it gets that request, it sees that the prompt was said, "I'm sorry," said Harry, and runs it through the bot 3 times because we chose the number of responses to be 3. And then so whenever it gets to the Flask server, it runs it through, cleans up the data that was generated, and then it will eventually start sending it back. But because we have 3 responses instead of 1, it's going to take a lot longer than what the Phineas and Ferb model took. Also, these cards, they were made by Saket, and they change for every single book. and they show which where our data was taken from. Yep. So these are this is the response that we got. So I'm sorry, said Harry. I'm sorry, but there's nothing to come back. But you're going to be able to make yourself at home. No, no, no. I'll do. So as you can see, it's very good at the very start, and then it slowly goes a little bit downhill. But if we had more data, it would be better. So J.K. Rowling, better start writing. And then also we have our GitHub page. So this is where everything is uploaded. So if you would like to run the website from here, you would just need to download the zip file from here. And there's also a Discord bot from it. So we also made a Discord bot that utilizes all the models that we trained.
So that's Prometheus. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Also, as you can see, we have a copyright at the bottom at Space Invaders, and it was designed by the gods. For those of you who aren't in NLP, Gary is another team, and he's very popular in our group, and he's an NFT, and he totally would steal our website. So we just had to make sure that he didn't.
Yeah, Gary's the creator of the universe, so we had to make sure he wouldn't copyright us.
Gary's a little sus.